Hey guys, it's Fuse back on Raid Shadow Legends, and we're gonna go over using Ninja on the clan boss, specifically the Batman Unkillable comp, and he really shines there. Real quick, I want to take a minute to thank you and to ask for anyone else who's watching this to go ahead and sub if you have not already. It's helping me out a lot. I appreciate it. And also, I've been playing Magnum Quest quite a bit. It's a really fun game. I've actually started another channel. I'm going to be uploading as much as I can because it's a really fun game. If you want to try it out, check out my channel. Maybe it'll help you get started. But definitely, it's a game worth playing, and I'm going to kind of go through all the things I'm finding that are helping me out. Also, if you want to join our clan, I think we have a few more slots to fill up. Back up out of here. Yeah, we're looking for just active, fun players. That's it's X911, the Black Hand Guild. You're welcome to join. It's an open invite. Come join the fun. We appreciate it. No requirements. No requirements. You can be brand new. You could be super awesome in game. Doesn't matter. We don't care if you CVC or whatever. We all try to participate, get things done. We don't argue. We help each other out. So it's a great place to be. So let's get back to what I want to go over. So if you've got the Batman Unkillable team, the way that I've done it, average player like always, it's an amazing team. You can easily, if you've made it, can easily 2-key Ultra Nightmare, 1-key Nightmare, 1-key Brutal. If you're trying to push it to 1-key, I finally did it with very mediocre builds by fitting Ninja into my team. Now this has some caveats, so definitely don't skip through this. There are some serious issues and tricks to making him work, but it's doable, so stick with me. First things first, my speeds had to change. Let me pull up the calculator and let's look at this together. Okay, so the Batman Forever team consists of Seeker, Warcaster, Tower, or 2 towers nowadays that you can control the AI, and then 2 DPSers. Pretty simple, pretty basic. We've all seen the speeds before. But here's the interesting thing about Ninja. His A1, now his damage ramps up tremendously. That's why it's worth putting him on your team. But his A1 gives him 15% turn meter, meaning he can get tricky to tune. So this is a regular team without him in it. You can see that every turn ends with Warcaster. Roshguard the tower will put up no damage. Warcaster will take a turn. Everyone's not able to take damage, and then Warcaster will finish the next turn with putting up the block damage buff, and then it'll rinse and repeat. Roshguard with Warcaster after him, and then Warcaster, Roshguard. So that you can see everything's synced up. This is a perfectly tuned team with the speeds that you're used to and accustomed to seeing for a Batman team. So let's just change one thing and put Ninja in here. Again, thank you, Deadwood Jedi, for all the work with this calculator. And I do want to say thank you to Skratch, who made a very similar team, and it helped me get to my speeds much quicker by looking at his baseline speed for going unkillable, because I did have to play with my speeds. So we throw in Ninja, and all of a sudden, everything's off, right? It doesn't work. You won't make it. There's no way you'll go unkillable. And you think, well, maybe he's going too fast because he gets extra turn meter and you try slowing him down. No matter what you do, you can't get it back to the way it should be. You can't speed him up and get him back to the way it should be. Whatever you do just keeps leaving everything out of sync. So how do we fix this? Let's put him back to a normal speed real quick. All right, so how do we fix this? Let me move this out of the way. I had to change the speed on the majority of my team. Not dramatically, but some of them are a little bit higher than what they used to be. So we're going to start with the fastest. Let's go to Warcaster. I had to get him up to... Where are you? He's in here. All right, Warcaster. I had to change his speed. He used to be like 268, now 277. We'll get on the calculator in a minute, but he can range. He can range quite a bit, like 276 to maybe 285. He does have a little bit of range there, but 277 thereabout will get him going where he needs to go. Then we're going to go to one that didn't change is Roshguard the Tower. He actually stayed at 246, I believe. Yeah, he stayed the same, so I didn't have to change him. But Batman had to go a little faster as well. He used to be right at 250, and I had to bring his speed up. Where is he? I had to bring it up just a bit to 257. We'll look again at the speeds in a minute, but there's a little bit of range on these, which means you can get away with using extra speed sets and everything. But definitely use the calculator if you want to change these speeds, because they do get tight. And then all we have left are 2 DPSers. Now let's talk about this. Okay, so Ninja brings defense down on his A1. I found that you cannot count on that. He won't use his A1 very often. He'll come around to his A2 and A3 so often that he won't be able to keep it up. It's not consistent. It's not 100%. So you're going to want somebody else that can break defense as well. And preferably somebody that brings weaken. Now, I don't have Draco, who would be a really good candidate for this. But I also want to put out damage. So I tried not using Rosin. The 2 real good options on my account are Feign or an Axe. So I wanted to try out an Axe. Either one is going to work about exactly the same. So an Axe will not be taking damage down to 10%. You don't have to worry about him taking extra turns or anything to throw off your tune. But the problem is an Axe and Feign both heal up when they use their abilities. When they heal up, that means they have to be the stun target even when they're at full health. Not too big of a deal. I kept him very low HP, as you can see. Very low defense, as you can see, but he'll heal up to full health constantly. So what I do have to worry about is the rest of my team. And also, let's look at his speed. The fast DPS needs to be about 248. There's still a little bit of play there, but not much. It's pretty tight. So 248 will get your fast DPS in sync. This will be your stun target. So make sure their HP is very low. The defense, now if they don't heal up, then low defense may be all you need. They'll take that first hit and no one else will take damage. In my case, over time, poisons will sneak by that no damage buff, doing just a little bit of damage. But I can't let anybody get low enough to where he's not my stun target. To remedy that on my account, I took all my other heroes have 1 set of immortal gear. That way, every time they take a turn, they heal up by 3% of their HP, meaning they'll always be full health, which actually ups my damage slightly because my masteries do, they all have Heart of Glory, more damage when you're at full HP, and they will be at full HP. So we can just find one more here. All of them are wearing at least 1 set of immortal gear. That's just to guarantee that my full health stun target will always take the stun because he's not going to take damage. Aside from that, if you have somebody that can do this, that doesn't heal up on one of their moves, you won't have this trouble. But this just guarantees that things go right. So let's get to Ninja. We've seen our speeds. Ninja has to be the slow DPS. The reason this works is because right at the end, he will be the first person to go once everything's in sync on each turn. He'll already be at his full turn meter, so it doesn't matter that he's going to gain turn meter. He won't be able to outpace everybody else the way this is set up. That's why we had to speed everybody up, so he doesn't outpace them. So when we go to Ninja, his speed actually has quite a bit of play. Where is that guy? All right, I'm at 224. I believe he can go from like 221 up to about 228, but staying in the middle of that is the safest route. So 224. The reason the tank is so important, Ninja can be the tank, and at times he will be the tank. He's the only person on my team who will actually take any damage once in a while, but he puts up perfect Veil. That means he's never going to be a guaranteed stun target. When Veil's up, he can't be hit by the stun, so your main stun target has to take the stun every time. Again, if you're using Feign or an Axe, who are both amazing at this job, just make sure that they have super low HP. Try to build everyone else's HP up quite a bit. Make sure you're glyphing them up. And make sure if you can get an immortal set on them that you do, and you'll never have a problem. This is a 100% consistent team. So those are some of the issues with this. And also, depending on who your DPS is as a stun target, you can usually get by on the affinities. But when it comes to green affinity, unfortunately, he's in the slow DPS slot. And the only way to fix that is to take Ninja out and put your Doom Priest in his place. And because of his speed, you may have to adjust her speed to fit back in there. You'll have to get the calculator out. Hopefully, if you're getting that one key, you won't be facing the green affinity very often. You can just wake up or whenever the reset is, take your one hit and you're done. But that is the only way to fix it. And again, you'll want to get the calculator because he does change his speed with his A1. You'll want to make sure she fits in there, but it will fix the green affinity problem. So let's kind of look at what makes him so good. Why would we be worried doing all this work to bring him onto our team? This hit, by the time his damage ramps up, so his damage continuously ramps up to 100%. His crit damage goes up as he continues. The whole entire fight is considered one long round. So he'll ramp up quite a bit. But this hit will be hitting for almost 300,000 on its own, plus proccing War Master. This hit can hit for 150 to 200,000 in my build alone once he ramps up. This hit, he's hitting 3 times, putting out almost 200,000 a hit, and each one is proccing HP burn for 75,000. It can almost do 1 million in one round. So his raw damage is so much that he's worth putting in here. So now his masteries should be like everyone else's. Yeah, everything. They're all going to look pretty much exactly the same. So there's not much to go over there. So let's get into the show because you kind of want to see some of this instead of just speeding through all of it. I think we'll take some cuts. I've already hit twice. You can see he gets his 70 million on each hit. It easily one keys Nightmare and Brutal. So, I usually get 71 to 73 million on Ultra Nightmare, 80 to 84 and close to 90 million on Brutal. But we will go ahead and I don't really need Brutal, so we'll run Ultra Nightmare. We're almost to Affinity, but we're not there yet, so no problems with this. I do put an axe in the front position because that does play. It does weigh in on the clan boss when there's not many other factors. He's only going to be slightly less HP than some of my characters, so I want him in the front because he's going to stay full health because of his kit. We'll go ahead and check out the setup because it is full auto, as always. So this is my Bat Ninja team. Again, he's my front man. The order will not matter much here. But an axe, Fane, whoever you're using, they need no instructions here. Ninja needs no instructions. He's ready to go. Roshkard, turn off his A2 and make sure he opens with his A1. Warcaster, turn off his A2, make sure he opens with his A3. And then Seeker just opens with his A1 and you are set up and ready to go. Full auto. It's, again, just as before, it's the same on all difficulties. Brutal, Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare. So you hit start and that's it. They're off to the races and everything's going to go according to plan. But here's what we want to pay attention to. Let's watch our first few moves with, and I have horrible crit rate on these guys. I apologize. But, so there we go. You see 16, 17,000 a hit, and we got those procs of 75,000 every HP burn. So that's a solid hit, right? 16, 17,000 though, that's not going to do much. Science Slash did 75,000. And we'll kind of watch. You'll see an axe healing up. And there we go with that A2 again. This time we got 45 to 50,000 every hit, plus all those 75,000s behind it already on round 2. So from this point on, everyone takes their turns, heals up a little bit, and we'll never have to worry about anything other than an axe being our tank. Now we're hitting for 85,000. We've got weaken up, so things should hit a little harder here now. Decreased defense, look at there. Now we're hitting 65,000. You see it ramping up pretty quick. Tell you what, we'll listen to a little bit of music and I'll cut back in and we'll see what he's doing around like turn 20. Okay, we're only on round 11. and we're hitting for 100,000 on that 3-hitter, plus the 75,000 procs and the War Master proc. He's ramped up quite a bit already. Let's see a couple more moves. And also, I'm going to tell you a couple ways to improve this team. 150,000. He's almost where he's going to start doing ridiculous amounts of damage on every single move. Look at that. So there is some RNG on how often weaken and defense down is up with this team. But one cool thing you could do, and I'm thinking about doing it, Seeker could be replaced with Deacon Armstrong. Deacon Armstrong can do the exact same speed up on your team. Might have to adjust a few speeds, but he could do the same thing, but he brings defense down as well. That means it opens me up for just needing weaken, so I could bring somebody like Skratch, who does amazing damage against this boss and brings weaken, and pair her up with my ninja and probably get closer to 100 million, maybe even break. So you may have options like that too. Just wanted to mention that there's one way to get your defense down without having a defense down DPSer. So let's watch the rest of this and see how it ends. Alright, so that's how I got my 1 key. There's a lot of RNG when I have so little crit rate on some of my heroes. These could all easily be doing 9 to 10 million each. An axe could easily be doing a lot more damage. But Ninja, just with raw damage, comes in sometimes at 35 million here. It's with a very mediocre build, pulling off a 1 key. I'm pretty sure that anybody running a Batman team is going to up their damage tremendously by getting Ninja on that team. If they can still bring a good poisoner that brings defense down, weaken, with a better build, it could do so much more. And like I say, you could even take out Seeker, put in Deacon Armstrong. That's going to give you the same speed boost as Seeker, but bring a defense down and a leech, which could help with the idea of trying to heal people if you're using an axe or Fame. But it also opens up the possibility of not using them. Bringing in somebody like Skratch, who could do amazing damage against a clan boss with that Giant Slayer proccing all the time. So that's something I may try out. Try to hit that 100 million mark. But yeah, this is not even that strong of a build. It really isn't. So a 2 key is good enough, but you know, everybody wants that 1 key. They gave you Ninja, so we might as well use him, right? I just wanted to go over it. The speeds are pretty tight, but there is room on almost every one of those speeds to go up or down just a little bit, which means there's room for using 2 or 3 sets of speed gear, stuff like that. But I would try to keep them very close. I always advise using that calculator. Again, thank you, Deadwood Jedi, because that calculator is invaluable. And thank you, Skratch, because I did find a very similar composition where I used his base speed for Warcaster to kind of start on the calculator for my team. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helps at least some of you. Definitely Ninja's worth putting on that team, but it's tricky. So for the Batman comp, this will make it work. Until next time, enjoy the grind.